All right, good morning, tribe, and welcome to the donut shop at the beginning of the world. Yeah, sorry for the lighting. It's a little creepy here. Just hanging out with the latest Fizzle Cane. What is it? Fizzle Cane Beta. At least so far, it seems to be a non-event. Hopefully, it continues to be a non-event. We will see. But yeah, I'm out on the front porch, and the lighting's kind of goofy, and it's like, ooh, demonic mark. All right, so interesting. It's Monday already. It seems like it was just Monday back in March, but here we are. Hey, good morning, Kimberly. Good morning, Clayton. Good morning, Darlene. Good morning, Kimberlyn. Good morning, Michelle. Yeah, I'm dry. It looks like not a lot is going on. It's been just a constant light drizzle. Well, maybe a little heavier than a drizzle, but really good for the plants. And I'm hoping also really good for mushrooms. Hey, good morning, Alan. Good morning, Sherry. So, yeah, I'm just sitting here on the front porch out of the rain. Oh, man, Wolf, good morning, Doc and Tribe from 30 degrees Maine morning. You know, it was nice when you were describing it a week ago. Now I'm just kind of giggling at you there, Wolf, because, yeah, 30 degree in the morning in, what are we, September? Yeah, that reminds me far too much of the place I ran screaming from, Minnesota. Good morning, Marie. I believe you are new here, Marie. Commissaro. I don't know how to pronounce that. Hey, good morning, Nancy. How are you? You up in Michigan? Yeah, so far it seems, at least here on the north side of Houston, not a lot going on. Down by the coast, maybe some minor flooding and things like that, but we're good. Hey, good morning, Donna. Good morning, Kelsey. Oh, Wolf, it was 24 degrees when you woke up. You have my sympathy. Good morning, Jordan. Hey, good morning, Rexana. The tribe gathers. Hey, Bonnie. I think it'll be a good day. We'll see. So pretty exciting, at least to me and my boss, is that Amazon finally released a bunch of reviews that people had written for the Medicine Man product. So that's pretty awesome. So we went from having like 7 reviews to 20. So very, very, very cool. And thank you all for those of you who've been writing reviews. And more importantly, thank you all for those who have been trusting me with their health and the Medicine Man Plant Go products. Because that means a lot. There aren't words to say how terrified I am, but at the same time, how much confidence I have in myself. It's a weird mixture of ego, intelligence, and primal fear. Okay. Oh, Wimberley. Okay, cool. All right, now I got you. Hey, S. Ooh, okay. So, Patricia, great morning to you. I'd like to know which mushrooms are the most flavorful and versatile. All right, and also easiest to identify because that's really important. Right now, throughout the country, really, the 2 main ones that are showing up over and over and over are lion's mane, the Hericium. If you go to foragingtexas.com, look up Hericium, Hericum. And it looks like a Hostess snowball, a white, just coconut covered ball stuck to the side of dead trees. And when you slice it up and saute it in some butter, it tastes like lobster. It's absolutely delicious. So think of it as lobster that grows on trees. More importantly, it's also one of the main ingredients in the brain pill. Because it has some really amazing cognitive effects, according to science. So it's really good there. The other, and there's really nothing else that looks like it. But if you look up Hericium on Foraging Texas, you'll see they look like Hostess snowballs. The other one that's real common right now is Chicken of the Woods, which looks like a big blubbery mass of lobes that have been dipped in like Dorito powder, almost a fluorescent orange color. Look up Chicken of the Woods. Oh, it's in my book too. And find that one, and you basically treat it like chicken. It's really, really, really good. Hey, good morning, Elizabeth. Good morning, Mike. Hey, Melanie. How you doing? Were you up at like 4 a.m. again this morning? Hey, Shirley, Rockport. How are things down in Rockport? Because it looks like that's kind of a lot closer to the storm than up here. Have you guys been getting much rain or flooding or anything like that? Yep. Good morning, Hayden. You are another, I don't recognize your name. So another person shows up. Hopefully you enjoy your stay and come back tomorrow. Oh, Melanie, weird. My legs have been aching for the last 2 days like I just climbed a mountain, but I haven't done anything. Eee. I don't know. Maybe you should try walking some or something. Oh, yeah. So, Kimberly, I need that being the lion's mane. I can't eat anything from the ocean because of the creep factor. I need these mushrooms. They are absolutely delicious. I'm always excited when I find them. And what's great about a lot of the things like lion's mane and chicken of the woods that grow on dead wood, they keep appearing year after year after year until all that dead wood is decomposed. So once you find a tree that has lion's mane on it, hopefully the tree is in really good shape, except for being dead, of course. And so you can get multiple years of harvests of it. Ah, okay. Now I got you. All right. Yeah, I saw you posted it on the mushrooms identification. That's a weird one that you have. Well, don't run D&D, walk D&D, or maybe even lounge D&D. Running, yeah. Running is hard. Kelsey, just planted my winter vegetables. Seems like supply chain has been weak due to the virus for some reason. Not much to choose from. Yeah, what's interesting, I don't know if you remember way back last March March and April, where stores were banning the sale of seeds because they were considered non-essential and they didn't want people coming to the store just to buy seeds. And all across the nation, thousands and thousands, probably millions of packets of seeds were just thrown out by stores. So, yeah, which meant then that, the suppliers of the seeds probably didn't get much money, and trickle-down effect, and here we are. Good reason to learn foraging. Yeah. Coffee. Well, if you got 24 degrees there, Wolf, I don't know if your corn and tomatillas are going to make it. How did your corn crop go? Did you get a lot of corn? Okay. Storm update from Alicia. West End Galveston is flooding. 61st Street Pier came off. Pier's end came off. Storm surge is cresting over the seawall. The storm surge is higher already than anticipated. Wow. Okay, so it's bad down on the south side. Up here, we're getting very little. I have to admit, whenever there's a storm heading for Galveston, I always want to book a room at the San Luis Hotel and just watch it. Hey, Terry. Hey, Bonnie. Yeah, Bonnie, I'm assuming your what is in response to the seeds. Yeah, like Walmart and Home Depot and Lowe's and all these common places where people would buy seeds. Last spring, they were prevented from selling the seeds because non-essential business. And so, yeah, they were all thrown out. Welcome to your government in action. Oh, man, I need to check this out. There was a pic of the pier part drifting down by Sonic. Okay. I need to check that out. Okay, they weren't banning the sale seeds. They were keeping customers from riffling through the seed packets because that was unsanitary. If you wanted seeds, you had to tell the clerk what you wanted. I'm sure many lazy, underpaid clerks probably said no, and that's usually the case. They had the big tape over, and you weren't even allowed into that part of the store. So regardless of what you call it, people could not buy seeds. Good morning, Darlene. Yep, grow heirloom and save seeds, and no worry about finding seeds. Absolutely correct. Those heirlooms, they have their issues, but they also have their pluses, especially in crazy times like we're now. Oh, I think it's starting to pick up here a little. Yep. Hey, Peg, thank you. Hey, Chris, not at your Walmart. Were you allowed to buy seeds? All the ones around me, they wouldn't let you. Hey, Deanna, you are absolutely right. Hey, everybody, it's going to be a great week. I will drink to that. Like, when I saw that dung beetle pushing the coyote poop that I posted on the Facebook page this morning, I was just looking at I was probably staring at it for like 5-6 minutes as it was just pushing and pushing, and it'd fall back, and it didn't seem like it was getting very far. I was kind of wondering where it was trying to get the poop to. Drink. And thought maybe I could help it out. But the beetle itself was absolutely beautiful. It had this sparkly, like, bass boat paint job of green and purple, and sparkly, and like if you imagined a beetle crossed with a unicorn, this is what you'd get. And its job is to push poop around all its life. And I thought there's probably a lesson in there that just don't let your surroundings, your job, your lifestyle make you any less crazy beautiful. Okay. Ooh, here's a good question. Sherry, I live in an apartment. What are some good edible plants to grow on my porch? It depends. Do you get sun or shade? Because that changes things. But really, the best thing on the porch is probably a large assortment of herbs. A number of herbs do okay in partial sun and can handle shade, especially a lot of different peppermints and things like that. And so fresh herbs and even then dried herbs are a great addition to a meal to spice things up, if you will. Also, if you are in full sun a lot of the day, definitely try some Malabar spinach, because that thing grows like crazy in hot, neglected weather. We're pretty much getting to the end of when it would grow, but definitely look into the different herbs. Tyler, good morning, Tyler. So Dollar Tree didn't care if you were touching them all. Yeah, not surprised. Kimberly, he was so pretty, I need nail polish that color. Oh, is Mark here this morning? No. I was going to say the Texas Wild Colors guy. Maybe he can make a beetle colored. Oh. Mom and Dad. Oh, hey, good morning, Dad. Hey, Dad, morning. Mom is still in bed. Sun is being blocked by smoke from the California forest fires. I'm not surprised. Supposedly the smoke from California has made it all the way to New York. Looking on the bright side of things, apparently the sunsets where the ash is and the smoke and stuff are absolutely fantastic. So you have to check out the sunset. Well, I guess it's blocked by the tree. Well, even the clouds up above. I mean, it's still, the sun isn't setting until late up there, though, right? But good morning, Dad. And let me know, how is Mom doing? All right. Oh, that's right. You get the chestnut things going. Sapling is laughing at the weather. Yeah, I believe it. If you can keep the blight away from them, they're a pretty healthy tree. Good morning. There goes my neighbor. I like my neighbor. Oh, yeah, dragon fruit would be great for the porch. That's true. Tie it to the railings as it grows. Hey, that's a great idea, Jason. Hey, it's dragon fruit. Now I'm hungry. Yeah, so I was thinking about that in October. Maybe I need to do like Merriweather's scary stories, one of the Merriweather's worlds, and I can do it out here with the lighting. But yeah, so what it's like to be married to Merriweather. Something breaks in the house, and I fix it, as quickly, easily, and cheaply as possible, and then move on with my life because there's a lot more to do. And so for some reason, the porch light way up there went out, and I fiddled around with it, and there's something going on with it, and so it wasn't working. So now I just have, I don't know if you can see it, just a light sitting here on the porch attached to, a sensor, a daylight sensor. And so when it's light, the light is off. When it's dark, the light is on. Oh, okay, this is, Mama's doing pretty darn good. Gets her next infusion Thursday. Well, that'll be number 5 already. Oh, wait, are we talking the chemotherapy or all the other stuff they're pumping into her? She had a good duck shoot Saturday. All right. Ooh, Dan, just got back from West Virginia. Saw lots of wild plants I have learned to know from Merriweather's foraging. Cool, yeah. There's a lot of plants. They're all over. They're not just Texas. Oh, wolf, cool. So you went with the Chinese chestnut to avoid the issues, and we're trying to cross it with the American chestnut. I know there was a thing, someone just last week, was it you? Posted how scientists have decided to do that sort of crossing with genetic manipulation, actually splicing around in the gene code of the Chinese and American chestnuts and make a kind of a GMO chestnut and see what happens there. I'm not completely convinced that's the right way to go. Hey, good morning, Katie. Hey, Surrender. Hey, Built on the Rock Homestead, Carrie. Hey, Bernice. Running a bit late, and I'm a bit early. Hey, Bon. Oh, okay. Hey, Dad. In case you're not seeing them, people are saying good morning to you and Mom. Hey, good morning, Cleo. Good morning, Coffee. Oh, it is so nice and cool out right now. I'm actually getting little goosebumpies as the wind blows across me. Oh, someone asked about the frogs. No, those are birds. We got lots of birds. And then also my neighbor's little beep beep. I'm not sure what you heard. Oh, okay, Patricia. So I think those are mushrooms that I want to grow. They can be ordered in plugs, right? I know the lion's mane can. Lion's mane are relatively easy to cultivate. Indian Creek Springs, Robert Patrick up in Livingston has a huge mushroom thing, and lion's mane is one of the things he grows. But yeah, you can get you get these little wooden dowels that have been infused with the mycelium. Then you drill a hole in your dead tree and you pound some of these dowels in there and seal it with a little wax and walk away. And a year later or 2 years later, you got mushrooms. So very good. Chicken of the woods. That's a good one. I haven't seen that one for sale. I think the reason it's, and correct me if you're here, Robert, correct me if I'm wrong. One of the reasons it's generally not for sale is it's so easy to find in the woods. And in the end, it's like just a big chunk of chicken breast that looks like it was dipped in Doritos. So I don't know if it's not as marketable, perhaps. Neighbors beep beep. So when we first got married, Mrs. Weather and I had old vehicles, and she discovered that locking Minnie Weather, buckling her up in the back seat and doing all this stuff and unlocking and having, juggling kids and car keys and all that. She really hated that, so she demanded a new car with beep beep. That's what she called which I call a clicker, just to show how old I am. But yeah, the beep beep to unlock the car instead of having to put the key in and do all that. Yeah, Jason, the apps are getting better, especially because the flowers and the fruit are pretty distinctive. I find a lot of people trying to get pictures of, or trying to use it to identify plants that aren't flowering or aren't fruiting at the time. Not so successful. Actually, I would say pretty much any mushroom growing in your soil is a sign of a healthy ecosystem. Yeah, that's it. Indian Creek mushroom. Definitely, if you're looking for a source of mushrooms, talk to Robert Patrick over at Indian Creek Mushrooms because he is the man. He's also an amazing woodworker, but he supplies a lot of the fancy restaurants, or he did supply a lot of the fancy restaurants in Houston back when we had restaurants open. I guess they're starting to open again, so maybe he'll survive. But also, he'd go to different farmers markets around Houston and the northeast side of Houston. Let's see, Kimberlyn, I'm going to have to dig up those 2 seedlings I sent pics up. Should I keep them in pots for a while? I got to tell you, Kimberlyn, I get so many questions about plants. Off the top of my head, I don't remember which seedlings those were. So I'll double check and get back to you, or just tell me which ones they were. Huh? You are welcome, Sherry. My daughter-in-law and her sister found beautyberry and horse chestnuts yesterday because of you. Thanks for bringing foraging and wonder to our family. Thank you for reconnecting to nature. Let's see. Do you think that the warmer winter weathers are going to make it nearly impossible to get worm-free rabbits? I think so. I know this winter is supposed to be cold. I think overall, the temperature is going to fluctuate day to day, or season to season. So there might be some. So I stick to squirrels. Okay, Melanie, my friend is trying to grow edible mushrooms in the backyard. She cooks them up Saturday, and I tasted one. It was a bit harsher than the ones you get in the store, kind of musky flavored. I wonder which ones, if it was like the horse mushroom. Hopefully she, knows her mushrooms. Flora Incognita app. You take a picture of the leaves and bark, flowers if possible. It tells you what it is, or at least it gives you a good guess, I'm sure. Still, I've been trying a lot of those different apps, and still not great. Okay, how can I mark this link without leaving the donut shop? If after the donut shop is done, all the comments will still be there in the video, so you have to kind of go down to the videos section. Or actually, no, you'll be able to see it right here on the Facebook page, the Foraging Texas Facebook page. Just click on comments and then scroll down through the comments until you find it. Let's see. Jennifer, would you eat domestic rabbits? Are you talking to me? If so, Dad, do you want to answer that one? Growing up, we raised meat rabbits. So, yes, not only would I, but I have, and they're pretty good. Okay, could tell you which mushroom it was. Cool. Coffee time. Ooh, what time is it? Oh, okay. Wow. Coffee has gone cold. Not that it's going to stop me from drinking it, but it went cold. All right. Kimberly, walnuts have their regular shell, but an outer shell as well, right? Yes. So a husk, a green, somewhat soft husk around the hard shell. Do you wait for the outer husk shell to come off, or do you remove both? My mother-in-law, my mother swore that they were hickory, even though it was like, nah, those are walnuts, so she took a hammer to them. Okay, first off, if they are walnuts, that outer husk is going to be seam-free. No seams, just a round ball. It'll be bumpy, but it'll be a round ball. If it is a hickory, let me just take your thing down there. If it is a hickory, there will be 4 seams equally spaced around the round husk. I usually, when I collect them, I peel the husk off. It smells good, but you want to wear gloves, especially if you're dealing with black walnuts, because there's some iodine in there that's going to henna your fingers and your hands. Workman's Friend helps against that too. But yeah, just peel that outer husk off and then crack open the shell. I do it in 2 separate steps, just because it's a lot of work to finally crack open the shell. So that's where the hammer and the anvil come into play. But dehusking is usually just cut it with a knife and start peeling it off. Yep, Kelsey, very interesting how the different local businesses are adapting to this new normal to work around the virus. I think it's definitely a time in our history where we learn to be crafty about how we live. Yeah, I think, the world we had has changed. Definitely changed. A lot of it for the worse, some of it for the better. And I think this is actually kind of an opportunity, a big reset button, to start moving forward and trying to focus on bringing more of the good things out of it and leave some of the bad things behind. Like right now sucks if you own a giant skyscraper that lots of businesses had their offices in, because a lot of those are empty and probably going to remain empty as people discover they can work from home. The big cities, New York, Los Angeles and all that, are being drained of workers. Big reason, I mentioned it last week or in Meriwether's World, bandwidth. Now, especially with the fiber optics, and I got 400 megabytes per second upload, download, it's not hard to have an online meeting instead of me driving, wherever. So kind of nice there. But yeah, things are definitely changing. And you're right. Old skills are coming back because people are starting to have a little more time and starting to realize maybe some of these skills are useful, but we are definitely in a new time. Oh, the rabbits. Yeah, we raised Flemish giants, but they reproduce faster than we could eat them. And that's why a freezer is a useful thing to have. Ooh. Carrie, I have 2 lamb's quarters identified by 2 apps. Not sure if I should trust that ID. Hope it's accurate. Look up lamb's quarter over on foragingtexas.com, Carrie, and compare it there too, and you'll get a better idea. Because there I give some of the secret tips on what you need to look at and how to tell it apart from any toxic mimic. So, lamb's quarter is pretty easy to identify. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. We raise English Angora rabbits. Ooh, the fur. They're more wool than meat, so not a good source of food source. Do you collect the fur then, and spin it into yarn or something like that? Big, soft, fluffy. Okay, Jason, my soil is really poor, and I got some wood mulch from an arborist to cover my lawn 4 to 5 inches in hopes that it'll decompose into some really good soil. Good choice. Any tips for getting mushrooms to grow in there to help along the process? Yeah, so go to the store and buy some of the fresh mushrooms, whatever they have, the white button and the portobello and so forth, and break them up. Or not even break them, just break the stem off and set the caps gill side down, around the mulch, more in shady, wet areas, and just let they are still probably producing spores, which will then inoculate the wood and start growing the mycelium through there and breaking it down. The other key thing that a lot of people don't realize is, don't disturb the mulch. Just let it sit there. Don't turn it up. In fact, if you're walking around on it, have very specific trails. because especially in the young stages, the mycelium, these long strands usually look like white strands running through there. If you start disturbing them and breaking them and tearing them, and as you turn up the wood pulp, you're destroying all that growth. So just let it be. Those are the two main things. The other thing, if you have access to it, Jason, look up giant ragweed. It's this tall plant. I mean, it's 8 feet tall probably right now, 7, 8 feet tall, with trident-shaped leaves. It's in the ragweed family. You want to get it. You want to remove the seed heads and burn those, but then lay the stalks and leaves across the mulch too. The giant ragweed, it is a hyper metal accumulator. And so it sucks all the iron and the magnesium and the calcium and the phosphorus out of the soil. And so it's great for compost and mulch because it's a great source of minerals that the soil needs. Also remember, really, when you're composting, you need a mixture of dead, dried stuff and green, fresh stuff to get the right amount of nitrogen going on there. And so the green giant ragweed laid over the top will help keep the nitrogen levels right, along with increasing the minerals. So the end result will be a really rich soil. Okay. It's 7:54. It's time for the group take. Yay! Group take, group take, group take. Okay. I don't know why. I always take them in the same. Okay. I just realized I grabbed 2 of the immune pill and 1 of the brain. So I guess we'll do the liver after the show. All right. So first, the brain pill. Woo, for those of you who like your brain firing on all 8 cylinders, focus, focus. Mwah. Brain pill. Brain activate. And then the other extremely important one right now, the immune pill. You got to keep that thing up and strong. And that's another 3-er. Good stuff. All right. Superpowers activate. Rah. Jennifer, I'm assuming you're talking to one of the other rabbit fanciers. Chris, mine is a 2-stroke. Well, work with what you got, Chris. Work with what you got. Remember, there's some pretty powerful motorcycles out there that are 2-stroke. Melanie, my brain is a Wankel rotary engine, which means your brain is fascinating from a technology point of view. The Wankel rotary engines were cool. Kimberly, yep, hummingbirds. I put up 4 feeders very far apart, and I still have 1 bird that sits in the mulberry tree guarding them. He's loud, obnoxious bully. Let's see, Jason, awesome. I did not know you could just use the store-bought ones. Yeah, because the store-bought ones, they're grown on a mulch, and they produce spores. But mainly go with the portobello and the white button ones, and you might get lucky. Also, if you see any mushrooms like a shelf mushroom, so you got a tree and you got a mushroom growing on the side, it looks like a shelf on the tree. If it is still live, you can take that and drop that and set it down on the mulch too. But yeah, the raising mushrooms for fun and profit. What is it? Boys, raise mushrooms in your basement. The Ray Bradbury story. It's a little easier than they tell you, really. All right. The trick, Jason, is shade, mainly to keep it from drying out and burning, and then moisture. So especially now as we're entering the winter time, this is a great time of year to try and put it down. You could even theoretically like go on Amazon or fungiperfecti.com and get the mycelium spore stuff to spike it even more, but they've been out of a lot of stuff and it's kind of expensive, but worth trying. Whoa, Nicole. I don't see hummingbirds anymore. I used to have bunches of them, but now I see praying mantises. Eee. Some of those praying mantises are vicious. Coffee grounds. So, Melanie, I could throw some mushrooms from the store in some dirt and grow them in the bathroom or something. Not dirt so much, but try coffee grounds. Usually, so the white button and the portobello, which are generally the same thing, just at different stages, they're more of a organic matter decomposer. So just plain potting soil or dirt isn't going to do it. But I know people have been somewhat successful using coffee grounds. Ooh, what do we get here? Idiot neighbor bought a new motorcycle and promptly broke his foot. Ouch. Last motorcycle he almost killed himself riding. Guy likes beers way too much. I don't understand why he's had a few DWIs yet. That sucks. Man, I loved my motorcycle when I had it, but every time I was out, someone tried to kill me. And so once we had mini weather, it's like, no, they need a dad. So I sold it. Yeah. Coffee grounds are like one of the preferred things for home mushroom growing. I've done oyster mushrooms on coffee grounds. It works pretty well too. Hey, good morning, Joe. Oh, 7:59. Yeah, Jennifer, I have lots of giant ragweed here for someone who wants to clean up. Forage. So right on the edge of our neighborhood, there is this big stand of ragweed, and the cop car likes to hide behind it to try and catch speeders. And part of me wants to cut the ragweed down so people can see the cop, but part of me wants people to, not speed through the neighborhood. But then a third part of me goes, one of the speeders is generally, Mrs. Weather. And so, I don't know, maybe if she saw the cops, she would not speed as much. Okay, 8 o'clock. Time for me to get to work. Medicine man work beckons. So I will see you all tomorrow, approximately the same time, ending at 8, starting sometime, 7:15, 7:20, 7:25, 7:30, something like that. Depends when I get my act together. Also, remember, this Thursday on Merriweather's World, we will be doing the STEM success, the secrets of becoming a successful career in commercial STEM endeavors. So science, technology, engineering, mathematics, how to be a successful commercial scientist. And here's the secret. It involves time travel. Bom, bom, bom. Whoa. Okay, at that point, it is time for me to get going. So take care, everyone. Love you. Have a great week. I'll check in on you tomorrow, see how everyone's doing. Until then, drink your coffee, take your, your dietary supplements, and I will see you later. All right. Bye, Mom. Bye, Dad. Love you. Take care.